shop today, so I figured let's go ahead, it's a perfect time to show you how to sweat a pipe. Let's go over what we need. First and foremost, you're going to need solder. We use 100% lead free here, and you should too, just because it's going to be on drinking water most likely, and you don't want to pollute anything. We have a brush for the side pipe I use, we're going to use 1/2 inch today. This is to get inside the fittings. Makes it easier. It is optional. You can use it with open mesh sandpaper. I use this because it's waterproof, and a lot of times when you're making a repair, you're going to have some water, and this will just be able to go through. Now we have our Flux brush and Flux. This is important because if you don't have this, the solder's not going to take, it's not going to work, you're going to fight it. So make sure you have your Flux and make sure it's good. Obviously a torch and a rag. This one's already cut, but if you do cut it, make sure you're using a nice wheel cutter so you get a nice flush end here. Or start, take your sandpaper here. Make sure you get it nice and clean. It's also important. If you don't have it clean, the solder doesn't take, again, you're going to fight it. Once you get it nice and clean, now you're going to go ahead and use either your sandpaper or a brush like this in your fitting. Just get in there, give it a few turns. I do both sides because obviously it's a coupling, so you would have had another piece of pipe going in. So you got to make sure you clean everything good. Now it's time to add the Flux. If you live in a warm climate, or even it just gets warm out and you leave your Flux in your truck or in your garage, or wherever, make sure you mix it up. Because sometimes what happens is there's the materials or the chemicals in there, they go ahead and they get separated. And if your Flux is separated, which I've done this before, it also will not work. So go ahead, once you get it mixed up, you're going to put it on the pipe and the fitting. Make sure it's in all the way. Alright, now the fun part, we're going to go ahead and fire this up. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people do is they just use way too much heat. It doesn't take a lot, it just takes patience. So what you're going to do is I heat from the bottom. Go for a while, and 1/2 inch is easy. Then you just start checking it. As soon as it's hot enough, you can see it's just going to go right in. And that's all it takes. It's a little bit. Go ahead and wipe it. I'm going to go ahead and do one more. So we got this cleaned here. Clean that good. Flux on there. You don't need to use a lot of Flux. Another very important detail I want to make sure you guys know is if you're doing it on a line that's in the house and you got water in there, it also is not going to take. So you got to make sure you have all that water out of that pipe before you start. Otherwise you're going to be fighting that the whole time, because believe it or not, even the smallest drip of water will not let it get hot enough. You can keep checking. You know, if you're not sure, as soon as it's hot enough, that flux will just suck that right in. So I hope this will help some of you out with your plumbing needs. And obviously, if you're not comfortable, call a professional. Let us come out and do it. Because if you can't get that soldered, you're going to be out of water if it's something important. So I would say practice on something before you go ahead and tie into your own house. But good luck. And if you have any other questions, let me know.